How did we go from this
Go all out to all 12. Folks, I wish you could be where we are. You'd have the chills watching this fight.
Master boxing by Mayweather. Hatton sticking to his task but gets drilled.
Left hook drops him.
to this?
Orlando, pitch will come. Come on. Come on, Orlando. Get in there. Get in there. Get in there. Yeah, come on. You think I'm crazy? You think I'm crazy? I'm going to show you. Get in there. Get in there.
I'll show you.
They continue to make a fool of black people, but the funny thing is, black people enjoy it.
All right, y'all, so let's talk about this. So, you saw the thumbnail. I was watching an interview. Shannon Sharp was talking to Claressa Shields. And key things that I'm going to talk about in this video is one, Claressa Shields has made it known she's not going to 154. The lowest that she's going is 160. I agree. I said the same thing. You saw the video I did a couple of days ago, before she even said this. And I put on there the green check mark, like that's the lowest that she should go. That's the lowest. The check mark meant yes, like that's it. Like I said, even in that video, I wouldn't go to 154. Now, this is before I even seen her fight with K. Scott. The reason is this. Even though she started at 154, you got to think, when you're 30 years old, around that time, and not only that, you could look at Claressa. Her body fills out. Claressa is a big chick. She puts weight on. Even though you can probably get the weight off, you may go into the, you might feel fine. You may feel fine in training. You get in the ring and all of a sudden your body just feels different. And the whole purpose of you going to 154 shit is not supposed to be so I can give my opponent a better chance to win. It's not about trying to get a weight advantage. That's not what it's supposed to be about. If it's about real skill and will, it's not about that. It's about, okay, I can't make this weight, but I can make that weight. These are not catch weight fights. These are just, she's going up and down in weight. And for the sake of you trying to go down so low just to make a certain fight happen, listen, understand something. Katie Taylor wants no parts of Claressa Shields. Amanda Serrano wants no parts of Claressa Shields. But she at times loved to use her phrase, the GOAT, and, you know, always want to, when someone asks a question, none of them are like mature enough to just say, look, I'm not focused on people that's not in my weight class. You know, whatever. Claressa's doing what she's doing. Hey, salute her. I'm doing what I'm doing. They're not, you know, intelligent enough to say that. The whole thing has to be the debate. And everybody has this need to want to try to make everybody agree with them. She's not coming up. In fact, I don't know if the fight happened already or if the fight's happening soon, but Serrano was supposed to be dropping down to 126, right? Defend her belts there. So, you know that those are fights that never happened. Alicia Baumgartner fight was never going to happen. Never. Now, the fact that Claressa, she made it known she's not going to 154. 160 is the lowest. Michaela Mayer already said that if Claressa comes to 154, that they could fight at 154. But when you think about it, right? Michaela Mayer, she's another one. If you walk around 160 something pounds, you can fight at 160. They are all afraid of the fact Claressa went all the way to 175 and handled them big ass girls. They can talk all that confident, oh, like they're ready to, no. They seen that work. They know they can't beat Claressa. The same way how in the previous video I told you how Chris Eubanks made it clear that he was glad that his rival was Nigel Benn and not James Toney or Roy Jones. He plain and simply said he doesn't see, as great as a fighter as he was, he doesn't see what he could have done to beat James Toney or Roy Jones. He said that out of his mouth. Most people are not going to admit those type of things, but he said it. And case in point, they know they can't beat Claressa. And pretty much the excuse list that people throw at Claressa is a fighter it's going to be she's too old, she was too small, she didn't have enough experience. Is always going to be an excuse. Nobody cares about that. Let the losers focus on those excuses. The problem is not Claressa. I'm leading to, we watched and listened to Alicia Baumgartner sit down and say, Claressa needs me. She has nobody else to fight. While Claressa is defending titles, winning more titles, Baumgartner is doing what? Talking and fighting weak opponents. Mark my words. Remember this day. Remember this video. The way Alicia is moving, if she doesn't step her game up and just start fighting nothing but top-level fighters, she's going to mess around and semi-do what Deontay Wilder did. And she's going to, right now, she's putting herself in a position where, let's think about it. The Shields fight was never on the table. That was nothing but clout chasing by Baumgartner. The Serrano fight is never going to happen. It was never going to happen. And no, now they're buddies. The Katie Taylor fight, not happening. So let's exclude Shields because we know that fight was never ever meant to happen because this woman was using her name to get attention to herself, but not even willing to go up to fight her. So she's claiming she'll meet her at 147. She knows Claressa has no reason to go to 147. Hell, Marataya just told Shakur not too long ago when they was basically made it known that they wanted him. They was giving him the opportunity to go up and fight Shakur, or the fight come down. I think to fight Shakur, go up or come down, whatever. I think it was come down. He was to come down to fight Shakur, and he said no. He turned the fight down. He said, "I can't make that weight comfortably, man. I'm going to weight drain myself." And what's the purpose of that? And that's exactly the point. Why would Claressa go down to 154 pounds just for the sake of making a fight happen? But she is not healthy. She's not at full strength. Now, if the fight is interesting or competitive simply because one woman is badly weight drained and the other one is okay, then basically, was it worth her coming down? Just for you to say, oh, it was a good fight, but let's look at why it was a good fight. A good fight because this woman was weight drained. No, it's not a good fight. And that's stupid. And the one thing that you don't have to do and shouldn't do is to try to prove to people that you're stupid. Claressa's not stupid. She knows better. Why? And then why am I coming down to fight this? Who am I giving a chance to? Because if you think about it, the well-known fighters, if you look at the 147-pound division, with the names that's there, I don't see no weight class that I think there's a woman that can beat Shields unless she just has a bad night, or off night. I don't see anybody skilled enough to beat this woman. But one thing about it is this. For her, that sweet spot is going to be between 60 and 75 anyway. She looked awesome the other night. And that power was there. Like she said, strength and conditioning and doing different things to maintain that power. Once you understand that, and this is what I'm saying, once you understand what you're doing, it's not just, a lot of old school people used to say, strength and conditioning. I'm like, no, it helps. It helps. You saw that with Claressa because that power was there. And it's the speed and the power was there. I mean, she would look awesome in that fight. And people got to understand that she's fighting females that's much bigger than her. Even at 75, man. I mean, people can talk like it's so easy because, this motherfucker. Yeah, y'all talk. But this woman is going in here beating, no matter how big, how small, she's beating them all the same way. And she's looking impressive. See, Claressa is delivering what Shakur can't. What Keyshawn can't. Because they're too busy trying to be divas and dance around. You understand what I'm saying? You got one guy talking about he going to get the belt at 140, then drop the belt so Keyshawn can get it. We got Devin Trapp. Remember all of that? He ain't got nowhere to go. He's cornered. See? Then all of a sudden, Keyshawn, he pushes up. Don't want to fight him. Shields ain't ducking nobody, man. And it doesn't make a difference what nobody say. You just keep putting the work in. Let your work speak for itself. Idiots are going to be idiots. Now, let's look at the simple facts. The simple truth. If Baumgartner don't get the ball rolling, she's going to be a victim of her own thinking. Or MVP or wherever this thinking process is coming from, because she's just letting valuable time go by. She's 32 right now. This is boxing we're talking about. She's 32. She's not, the same way she's not, the Shields fight is never going to happen. That was never meant to happen. It was just blah, blah, blah from her. But the Katie Taylor and the Serrano fight is not going to happen. The Dubois fight is there. She doesn't want it. So, again, if Sky Nicholson or the other chick, Tiara, whatever her name is, the one that beat Sky, if they don't come up, if they end up, because if they end up coming up, this is the best chances that she got to make some respectable fights. Dubois being the biggest. Dubois wants to fight. So Dubois is willing to drop down to 35. If you listen to everything that Baumgartner said, talking about she going to go up in weight, or she's going to collect belts here, then she's going to go there, she's going to do, right? She keeps saying all these things. What efforts is she making to do that? None. So those are three key fights. Because I think Baumgartner is one of them fighters that when you say a name to her, I think she's one of those fighters that want to see that fighter lose. So she can just drop her glasses and look over her glasses at you like, next. I told y'all, right? So she can just keep taking easy fights. There is no urgency. And she don't seem to understand this. Let's say if her and her team were getting together going, well, I know I want to have around X amount of fights and then I'm done or whatever. I don't know. But I'm telling you, mark my words, everything she's doing is going to be thrown back at her. People are going to say, why wasn't she calling out Amanda Serrano and Katie Taylor? All she ever responded to was questions, but she never, like she did all that yelling about Claressa. Watch how people turn, and trust me, the same people that's cheering her for that Claressa hate. Yep. They're going to be the same ones telling her that she ducked, that she made no effort to make the fights happen. She should have, and she could have, but she didn't. She was never going to fight Shields, and she let Amanda and she let Katie slip away without even putting up a fight to get those fights. You watch, that's what's going to be said. Not only is that's what's going to be said, but when you look at her career, her accomplishments are going to pale in comparison, definitely to Shields, to Katie, and also to Amanda. And when you look at the list of opponents, they're going to say she basically fought weak opponents, and the only real decent test that she had was Michaela. I see Baumgartner as a good fighter that, for whatever reason, I don't know, it's like a lot of ego, but she's not thinking. She's letting valuable time go by that she's not going to be able to get back. worst thing that can happen to Baumgartner right now is she go lose to somebody. And trust me, you could have that banana peel fight where you're expected to go in there and dust somebody off, and all of a sudden, Baumgartner's looking at the lights or standing there with her hands on the side trying to figure out how this kid just outboxed me, or whatever it may be. Baumgartner is one of these fighters, and understand, they're already trying to replace her. I told you that. Angelina Lucas, I told you guys are bringing up her name. I saw these podcasts, these YouTubers, they're bringing her up and talking about, already making a comparison and saying that she already surpassed Baumgartner. But, with Baumgartner being with MVP, and, they like to mention her name and all, but I'm just like, already, you see, this is what I'm telling you. There's no loyalty for most of these people, and especially in sports and when money's involved. I really, for Alicia's sake, man, she's very arrogant. She'll stand there and try to talk like she got everything under control, and she'll talk all this shit about Shields, and Shields needs me, and after all that talk, she go and have a weak opponent. Where's the talks right now about her next big fight? All they do to try to camouflage weak fights is showcase a whole card full of women and talk about how we're here to motivate and elevate women's boxing, but where's the stiff competition for Baumgartner? This is where she's screwing up, and she don't even see it. If she don't get the ball rolling, she's going to lose that position. In fact, the position she's in is not even as high as she tries to make it seem, or Jake Paul tries to make it seem. What I'm saying is that protection of them pushing her to fight these weak opponents, because all these opponents are designed for her to go in here and look spectacular, and she's not looking spectacular. Then Shields go out and do what she do, instantly hate. And that makes her feel good, because people try to criticize Shields. It's not going to get her anywhere. Shields' career. She's more focused on trying to insult Claressa than she is showing and proving in that ring. And the truth of the matter is, these people don't really like her. They just like the fact that she hates Claressa. That's all. Petty, ignorant, stupid shit. Baumgartner better look in the mirror, figure out who the fuck she is, and get that shit going. Because all that arrogance and ego doesn't change anything. Great fighters become great by beating great fighters. Catch y'all on the next one.